Oh man, what is up, man? Back with this game three reaction. Man, man. I do not have a co-host, so I am going solo dolo tonight, actually. So this will be interesting. I'm gonna like it. So now you get my whole opinion without anybody having to interrupt me. So let's get into this. Toronto. Now, granted, it's kind of speculations that maybe Clay will play tonight. What's up, D? Maybe Clay would play tonight, but then again, he kind of got that same injury that KD got. So it's like you don't want to, you don't want to risk him coming back and it gets worse, just like KD's injury. So I understand why they held him out, and two, plus you got two home games. Well, you got guaranteed three because you kind of stole home court, but now Toronto got it back. So I'm not really, upset about that. So, but great effort by the Golden State Warriors. Fortunately, great performance by Steph with his career high of 47 points. You know, I hate to say it, but he kind of knows what it feels like when you ain't got, when it's just you by yourself, just like LeBron back in 2015. Like when you ain't got your when you don't got your other two top scorers on the team, like how are you gonna be able to will it deal you away to a win? Unfortunately he couldn't. But still kind of, it was a good game. I enjoyed it. Toronto won 123 to 109. So let's see. Go down the Warriors stats. Steph, again, career high of 47. He had 47, 8, and 7. Now, will the media scrutinize Steph the same way they do LeBron? Probably not, because Steph tends to get a lot of passes, so they probably won't criticize him that much for losing and putting up almost 50 points. But let it be LeBron that puts up 50 points and they lose. Man, the media be all over it. But that's neither here or there. I ain't upset about it. So Steph shot 14 of 31, 6 of 14 from the 3-point line, and 13 of 14 from the free throw line. Draymond had 17, Iggy had 11, Boogie went 1 of 7, had 4 points, and Sean Livingston, who started for Klay Thompson, only had 4 points. That's neither here nor there. Quint Cook again, with 9 points off the bench. Bogut with 6. Alfonso McKenzie with 3. So again, it was great credit by the Warriors. But now let's get into these Raptor stats. Kyle Lowry, this is my player of the game. Actually, I got two of them. Kyle Lowry and Danny Green. Those two are my players of the game because they came and showed up. I think I said it last stream that they needed Danny Green to hit his threes. That's the only way Toronto has a chance of beating Golden State. He has to hit his threes. And as long as he hits his threes, the Raptors can stick with the Warriors in any game. Any game, they can stick with them. All Danny Green has to do is just hit his threes. As long as he do that, you're good. Which Kyle Lowry and Danny Green came out firing, especially Danny Green, because people was like, I don't know. But then this Danny Green looked like the one against the Miami Heat in the 2014 finals, when he was raining down threes, crazy threes just getting put up, and he was just hitting them. And he's one of those players where if he gets hot, when he gets hot, you can't stop him. So I'd credit him and Kyle Lowry for the amazing game that they had. So Kyle Lowry, 23 points, 23, 4, and 9 assists. Pascal Siakam had a pretty good game, 18, 9, and 6. He kind of needed him for that, especially after the way that he played in game 2. Good way to bounce back. Kawhi had 30, 9 and 17 shooting. I mean, you can't really be upset. Danny Green with 18, 6 and 10 from threes. And Marc Gasol, who also had another good bounce back game, 17, 7 and 4. Van Vliet, we already know what kind of player he is, especially from the way that he was against the Bucks after he had that child. We all know after he had that child, he just went on a complete scoring rampage out of nowhere. He had 11 points off the bench, and he hit a crazy three in the fourth quarter just to kill the Warriors' chances of making a comeback. That was crazy. And Serge Ibaka had 6.5 rebounds. I think he had 6 blocks. Yeah, he had 6 blocks. He looked like the old Serge in OKC that was just chasing everything down and blocking everything. Now, obviously, as you get older with age, all that change. But he looked like the old Serge. And if they can get that from him, if they can get that for him for the rest of the finals, then like Toronto can win this. But I credit the Raptors for the way that they play Steph. Now, granted, again, they didn't have Clay or KD. So when those two come back, if KD comes back, I don't really know. I would suspect that he comes back in game 3. But rather if he does or doesn't, like I expect them to play the same way. See if I can find the box. Oh, here we go. Box score. Toronto shot 52%. Golden State shot 40%. I knew Curry had to score near 50 to win, but the way he did it made it look easy. I mean, that's the way Steph is. Like Steph, like I never really hated him. I never hated him until they got KD, because it's like now you don't gotta worry about one score. You gotta worry about 2 scores. So I mean, I ain't really surprised that Steph dropped 50, because he kind of needed to, just like, LeBron, when it's just him in the finals, like that's what LeBron just had to do. Especially when they played him, last year, and LeBron had like 40. He had like 30-something points in like the first half or something crazy. But I mean, I ain't really surprised, the greatest shooter of this generation, possibly of all time. Most people say all time. So for him to get 50, that's nothing to him. So Toronto shot 45%. So this is the second game they didn't outshot Golden State from the 3-point line. I think they outshot them in game 1. Yeah, and then Golden State came back and lit it up in game 2 because of Klay Thompson's effort. Now game 3, again, different story because Klay wasn't there. But Toronto went 20 of 21 from the free throw line. Golden State went 25 of 30. Both teams had 14 turnovers. Golden State played real sloppy in the first half, so that's where most of their turnovers came from. Most of the turnovers came for the first half, but they cleaned it up in the second. Toronto had 30 assists. Golden State had 25. Golden State out-rebounded them by 1 and had more offensive rebounds. I think the stat right here that kind of told the story. Toronto had 10 blocks. 6 of them came from Serge. Like Serge, he's just coming from behind and just Serge just coming from behind and just blocking everybody. Help side defense. Like that's the way that you hustle. You know, if your shot ain't going, figure out what else to do. I think Toronto had 22 fouls. Those had 21. So again, you know, because usually whenever people say, "Oh, you know, like the refs were so one-sided," this is the third straight finals game where, you know, the refs wasn't so one-sided. Again, this is the third straight game this to happen, so it ain't the refs. It's just they didn't have Klay Thompson. Now, would Klay Thompson have made a big difference? Probably, yeah. He would have took some of the steam off of. He takes the steam off of Steph for one. He can create his own. Well, let me take that back. He can't really create his own shot, but when he's hot, he can. We all know what he can do. So I do expect Klay and I do expect Klay and KD to come back for Game 4 because they're really gonna need him. Well, they're gonna need them both. I don't see Golden State winning. I don't see Golden State winning Game 4 without at least Klay Thompson. Because you know it. Because now we're seeing how they are when they have Klay and how they are without Klay. Like at one point, it was a lineup of what was the lineup I seen? It was like Quinn Cook, Livingston, Alfonso McKinney, I think Jonas Jerebko and Bogut, like Bogut or Boogie. It was one of those two in the game. Like I'm like, man, how come? I'm just thinking, how come LeBron couldn't have this? But that's that's neither here nor there. So, but I give Toronto credit. Like they did what I said last stream. I don't know if like Kyle Lowry, maybe Kawhi Leonard, maybe pulled up my game 2 reaction and just watched it through. But I said for Toronto to win, you have to put Boogie in every single pick and roll action because he is slow and he can't move. And Marc Gasol definitely took advantage of that. Every time they ran a pick and roll, pocket pass. And if it's not a bucket near the rim, it's an open 3-pointer for Danny Green and Kyle Lowry. So now let me get into Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry, I applaud you. You actually showed up a game. Now, granted, I don't know if you're gonna do that again, but for the time being, I'm glad that you actually showed up. So I applaud you. 23 points. Wanting to take some of the toughest shots. Going ISO. Kyle Lowry. People was like, and I was one of those. I was like, they should have took the Mike Conley trade. Like they should have just took the Conley trade. Because I feel like Conley's still like he's still like last of the dying breed of he's the last of the dying breeds of like the pure point guards. It's really like him and CP3 left. And CP3 ain't consistent. So Conley can make a huge difference, especially with him in the pick and rolls with him and Marc Gasol. Like that in Memphis was that was their bread and butter. But for Kyle Lowry to step up on the road and play like this, I applaud him so much. I applaud him. And Danny Green, you turn back the clock, like I said earlier, and just you went into game 2. No, you went into 2014 Danny Green mode. You just lighten up hitting threes. Now, will he do this again? I don't know. That's the only thing that worries me. I don't know if Danny Green can do this again. I would love for him to do this again. I would just love for him to hit this many threes again. I don't know if he'll do it. I really don't know. Same with Kyle Lowry. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get this kind of game again. Like I don't know. I don't know. But closing remarks. Toronto, you got 2. Now you got home court advantage back. You need to win 2 home games. Even if you don't win in Golden State, even if you lose game 4, if you lose game 4, you still got games 5 and 7 at your home court. So you could win 2 of those. But if they come out, let's just say let's say, Clay doesn't play in game 4. If the Raptors win that, the Raptors might close it out at home. Now, granted, it's tough. It's going to be tough. Coming back from 3-1, because the only time we didn't see Golden State during this whole dynasty run down 3-1 is when they played, was it OKC, KD's last year? That was like the last time we didn't seen them down, 3-1 in the series. So even if they win game 5, it's like, okay. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a different, and you're in the NBA finals. Like, that's a different type of pressure. Like, I don't think I chose a winner. I don't think I chose a winner last game. I'm probably not gonna choose a winner this game. It's all just gonna depend. Okay, I'll say this. If Clay doesn't play, but KD does, I say Golden State wins. Well, it really ain't gonna matter. Yeah, if KD plays and Clay doesn't, Golden State will win. If Clay plays and KD doesn't, then I still think Golden State wins. But if neither one play, I think Toronto will take that game because they know who to stop. You stop Steph and let everybody else shoot, then like you've done your job. So that's it. Toronto, you're almost there. Halfway there. In the words of Drake. In the words of Drake, just hold on, you're going home. Who knows? Hey, who knows? I would love it. I would love if Toronto pulls off the. Would it really be an upset if Toronto beat them? I guess so, because it'll be they're going for a 3-peat, and nobody really expected a team to challenge them. But yeah, I think that's all I got. That's all I got. I will see you guys after game 4 on Friday.